Have you ever experienced this feeling? You dream about doing something great. You picture a successful future and a better life. But when the moment comes to actually start, you hesitate. You tell yourself, I'll begin tomorrow. If you've ever had big ambitions but struggled with laziness, this story might speak directly to you. It could even change the way you think about your life. Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by wide green fields and tall trees, there lived a young man named Amir. Amir was 25 years old, strong, healthy, and filled with bold dreams. He often told his friends, "One day I'll become the most successful farmer here. My land will glow with golden crops and people will come to me for advice." The villagers admired his confidence and big goals. But there was one serious problem. Amir didn't like to work. Every morning, while other farmers walked to their fields at sunrise, Amir remained in bed. When the men labored under the burning sun, he preferred sitting in the shade, talking about his future success. And when work needed to be done, he would simply say, "I'll take care of it later." He had endless dreams and plans, yet almost no action. Amir loved imagining victory, but he avoided the effort that real success requires. One evening, Amir's uncle, an experienced and thoughtful farmer, came to see him. He stood quietly and looked over Amir's field. The soil was dark and fertile, yet nothing had been planted. The old man asked gently, "Amir, why is your land still empty? You always speak about fields full of golden crops, but all I see is bare ground." Amir smiled confidently. "Don't worry, uncle. I'll start working tomorrow. Soon my farm will be the best in the village. Just wait." The uncle sighed softly. He had heard that same promise many times. After a moment, he reached into his pocket and pulled out two tiny bags. Inside each bag was a seed. Handing them to Amir, he said, "These are special seeds. The first one is called the seed of ambition. If you plant it and care for it daily, it will grow into a strong tree that brings fruit, shelter, and prosperity." He then pointed to the second seed. "This one is the seed of laziness. It grows quickly, but it fills the land with weeds and ruins everything around it." The old farmer looked Amir in the eyes and said, "Now, both seeds are in your hands. The future of your land and your life depends on which one you choose to nurture." Amir studied the two seeds carefully. "Of course, I'll plant the ambition seed," he thought. "That's the one that leads to success." But when morning arrived, Amir woke up feeling sleepy and unmotivated. "I'll plant it tomorrow," he murmured, turning back to rest. Days passed before Amir finally planted the two seeds, not because he was determined, but simply because he was bored. "Let's just see what happens," he said to himself. "I can take care of them later." Time went by, and Amir completely forgot about the seeds. His days were spent sleeping late, chatting with villagers, and imagining the successful future he wanted. One afternoon, he returned to his field and froze. The seed of laziness had grown rapidly. Wild weeds had taken over the land, spreading across the soil and suffocating everything around them. The ambition seed, however, was barely alive. It was small, fragile, and close to dying because it had never been watered or cared for. Amir's dream was slowly turning into a disaster. Soon his uncle came back and looked over the ruined field. Calmly he said, "Amir, look closely. This field reflects your life. Ambition is like a tiny seed. It needs effort, discipline, and action every day. Without care, it fades away. But laziness grows by itself. It spreads quickly and destroys whatever stands in its way." He paused, then added, "You wanted greatness, but your laziness has already begun stealing your future." Hearing those words, Amir dropped to his knees. He touched the weak ambition plant, and tears filled his eyes. For the first time, he understood something important. Dreams alone are not enough. Only action keeps them alive. That night, he couldn't sleep. He thought about the time he had wasted, the promises he never kept, and the chances he had ignored. Quietly, he said to himself, "If I don't change now, laziness will control my life forever." The next morning, before sunrise, Amir woke up. He went straight to the field and started pulling out the weeds with his bare hands. The work was painful. His back ached, and the rough soil tore his skin until his hands bled. But he refused to stop. Day after day, he returned to the field. He watered the ambition seed and protected it with care. Slowly, the plant grew stronger. Years later, it became a great tree, giving fruit, shade, and prosperity. And Amir changed as well. He was no longer known as the lazy dreamer. Instead, the villagers respected him as the farmer who faced his laziness and defeated it. Dear listener, Amir's story is not really about a farm. It's about the choices we make in life. Inside every person, there are two seeds. One represents ambition, and the other represents laziness. Ambition only grows when you nourish it every day with effort, discipline, and consistent action. Laziness, on the other hand, grows on its own, and if you let it, it slowly destroys your goals and dreams. So if you feel ambitious but often delay taking action, remember Amir's field. Don't keep saying tomorrow. Begin today. Care for your ambition and remove the weeds of laziness before they spread, because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes for your dreams to survive. If this story inspired you or gave you something to think about, please support the video by leaving a like. Subscribe to Tales with English and share this message with someone who has big dreams but struggles to get started. Together, we can grow our ambition and move closer to the life we truly want.